Our question is there a positive linear relationship between height and field goal percentage in the NBA?
So our null hypothesis is that there is no relation between a player's height and field goal percentage in the NBA, and so that's testing if the slope is equal to 0.
So our alternate hypothesis is there is a positive linear relationship between a player's height and field goal percentage in the NBA, so greater than 0. So the way we collect our data is that we print out a list of 469 NBA players who had played in the 2012 to 2013 season, and we number them from 1 to 469, and then we use the random on our calculator to randomly select 30 numbers out of those 469, and if there are any repeats, we repeat our procedure until there are 30 unique numbers, and then we find the 30 players that are represented by those random numbers and record their height and field goal percentage.
I guess.
Okay.
So what we did was a linear regression t-test, and so for that we had to check the conditions, which is liner. So it was linear, there was a positive linear relationship. R was equal to 0.306, R squared was equal to 0.093. And it was independent. There was no apparent pattern on the residual plot. It was normal. The normal probability plot was roughly linear. There was equal variance. The variance is roughly equal on the residual plot, and it was random because we randomly selected the sample. Okay, so we did a linear regression t-test on the calculator, and our results were t is equal to 1.70392. The degrees of freedom was 28. Our p-value was 0.049735, which is really close to 0.05 for the 95% confidence level. And our standard error was 0.32, and the margin of error was 0.66. Our 95% confidence interval that we calculated was from negative 0.11 to 1.21. So overall we could reject the null hypothesis because with a p-value of 0.049 we have just enough evidence to prove that there's an unfair advantage an unfair advantage for taller players using the common significant value alpha equals 0.05. So taller players tend to have a higher field goal percentage. Okay, to interpret our confidence level, we would say that 95% of all possible samples of size 30 from NBA players in 2013 will result in an interval that captures the true association between height and field goal percentage.
So we're 95% confident that the interval from negative 0.111 to 1.21 captures the actual true value of the correlation between the height and field goal percentage. So here are some examples of high percentage and low percentage shots.
There we see a height being a factor. He's shorter, and therefore, even though it's a high percentage shot, he doesn't finish because of Blake Griffin.
And that is a moderate percentage shot.
A what percentage shot?
Moderate.
Moderate.
Yeah, moderate.
But he still converts.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a very low percentage attempt. Here you see his height playing in. With that height, he manages to make the circus shot. I think if he was shorter, it wouldn't have worked out so well. But since he's taller, he's a little bit bigger, he absorbs the contact. There's the finish. Pretty.
Okay, so here's Kobe Bryant performing a high percentage shot.
Bang bang. Yeah, very high percentage. And, you know, Kobe's deceptively tall. So, he's what we'd consider tall, 6'6" or 6'4". Wow, oh my. Very high percentage shot. Again, height playing a factor. Look at him get above the defender there. You know, that's a good attempt.
This one, this is not a very high percent shot, but he still makes it. It doesn't happen really often.
Yeah, very unlikely, but he still converts.
Yeah.
You know, that shows that's why it's so close. That's why our p-value is so close to the barely being statistically significant.
This one, wow.
Yeah, you can't stop that. My oh my.
100% right there.
Yeah, LeBron's never gonna miss that. Ever. Sit down. Oh my. It's pump fake.
Okay, that's high percentage.
It's a high percentage shot because it's close, but the windmill, you know, that's pretty risky. Yes, you guys missed that a lot. But look at his height. Because he's so tall, he can pull it off. Proving our point.
Yeah. Okay, this is...
Yeah, what? An alley-oop three, that never happens, but...
He makes it.
Him and NBA players' skill levels with the shorter guys, you know, they tend to be better ball handlers. That's why
they shoot the ball better.
Yeah.
This is a height. This is a height.
Enjoy. Watch it again. Awesome.
Like, see how much taller he is.
That dunk right there makes you forget all about stats. I don't even know what we're talking about. My, oh my. Ooh. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Overall, because players sometimes lie about their heights, and because some players take more shots than others, and some players consistently shoot from closer range than others, we can't really conclude too much from our test. So overall, we don't really know if there's an unfair advantage. We calculated that there very barely may be an advantage for taller players, but with this simple of a test, we can't really conclude much.